Alrighty, here we go once again with another one of these things, whatever you call this. Um, well, it is February 22nd, 2018 at the time of recording this. Not a lot's changed these past few days. Mostly just been working and streaming and all that stuff. And, since I'm going to be quitting my job soon, there's going to be a lot of changes, as I've said in the past. And one of the things that I really want to get back to is, sort of piecing together what little social life I have left. And, the thing is, I'm not saying anyone that I know online is, not an actual friend, but, I guess it's just going back to, having friends and all that, because, oh, I'm a nerd, I don't have any friends, but that's beside the point. And if I'm being completely honest right now, talking about this, I never really had that many friends growing up. And I know it's kind of sad to admit this, because, looking at it now, that's clearly not the case, either, in real life or, online. Almost said IRL, but then I realized that would have made a lot of people cringe if I said that, so good thing I caught myself there. But yeah, I was one of those kids who, had a bit of a rough patch just growing up, because I never really had any friends. I was bullied all the time. I used to be bullied a lot at home by my brothers, but that stopped at some point. And school was a hell of a lot worse. I have no idea how I was able to survive school for that many years with just being bullied every day of the week. But and the thing is, few of the friends that I did have, we didn't really do anything. There was this one kid who, by the way, if somehow he's watching this, I apologize for saying this. He was very, I don't know. He was very, what's the word I'm looking for? He was very, direct, and not in a good way. He would always, encourage me to do things I wasn't 100% comfortable doing. And since he was very, religious, that kind of didn't help. I'm not saying that people who are religious are like this. I apologize for that up front. I am not saying that because, I'm an atheist or whatever, but I'm gonna get off the topic now before I dig myself a bigger hole than I already have been. But, and if he is watching this, or listening to this, I should say, I apologize for that. But, but yeah, I never really grew, this whole, circle of friends until, I was in college, which is really saying something. And college was, so different in terms of just making friends. It was so much more easier because no one knew who I was. I can basically just start back from the ground up, and I did make quite a bit of friends there, some of my old roommates and some people I met for clubs and all that. It was really just mind-blowing. And one of the things I've been trying to do is kind of want to get back in touch with some of them, because it's been a while, and I'm sure they're up to their old things. I mean, up to different things now, but just to see where they are in life and all that. And of course, you have the friends I made online, and between the friends I made through my old persona and the one that I have now, it's certainly an improvement. And, and especially with, the old one, because I was, what? That was, 10 years ago when I did that, or something like that. But, anyway, but, I don't know. Making friends doesn't come naturally to me as, with other people. Because, because I've been, bullied so much, it was getting, kind of hard to figure out who to trust. And, sadly to say, that sort of is true now with these group of people I was involved with at some point in time. It was like people I met through a group therapy session, and things were okay for a while now. That things were okay then because we would go out, we would like get something to eat and all that, or go somewhere. But it kind of took a sour turn from the worst when I realized that they were not the kind of people I want to associate with. Because like one of them was very uptight. She was so anal when it came to details. Another one was very gossipy, and she would just like brag and complain about people she didn't like. So you can obviously tell it wasn't really. This isn't really a turn for the better. And then there's the other one who's really like very, very. I don't want to say misleading, but it's just like because I didn't have a license at the time, I always had to carpool with someone, so he was the one I carpooled with. But every time he showed up, he was like an hour late. So yeah, that was fun to deal with. But it just got to a point where, like one night we were bowling, and then we went to this place nearby, like a pizza place, and he was complaining that it wasn't an actual restaurant. I'm making finger quotes when I say that. And because, like, I was dealing with him, who was always late, another person who was really anal about, like, details and all that, and his gossipy person who wouldn't shut up about, like, people that she didn't like, and I was always, like, texting everyone, which is another thing I had to deal with. It just got to a point where, like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. I was literally like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And just, I have never spoken to them again ever since. I kind of disassociated myself with those type of people. And I guess that sort of experience made me a little bit sensitive when it comes to like people to trust or people to like, give a second chance if they fuck up. And because between like my experience at school and my experience with them, it just really soured my whole like, who to trust, who not to trust, who to give a second chance to. But I know that's not the case with like every person I meet. Not everyone's going to be an asshole, but at the same time, not everybody's going to be this ray of sunshine. I mean, hell, I sure am not. But I don't know. I guess looking at it now, it's just sort of this thing, have to take what I can get. And like one of the things that I want to get back to is like there was this group that I joined up a while ago that plays board games, and because I was working on those days, I never had a chance to like go to them. That clearly is not going to be the case anymore. In fact, this Saturday I'm not going to be working. At the time of this recording this, I'm not going to be working this Saturday. So I figured it would be a golden opportunity to get back to that. Because I really do want to, like, branch out and, like, just, so I'm not just in my room all the time, just talking to myself, And, like, I always look at, like, these people that I watch, like, all these Let's Players, like Chugga Conroy, and, like, I see what kind of, like, circle of friendship they've become, and I just, like, wow! And, like, this is all people, like, met through, like, Twitter and YouTube and all that. I'm like thinking, holy crap, that is amazing. And I guess I sort of look at it as a sort of inspiration for me to like do something. Not so much like, well, I mean, the people I know online, like they're good people. They're good people. I wouldn't mind like hanging out with them in real life. But just in terms of like finding and making this group of friends based on like, this common ground is just like really just amazing, and it's something that I've always found myself struggling to do because of my experience with like friends and like people who are just assholes and all that. And the thing is, like, once I leave this job, I honestly wouldn't mind like getting together with some of the people I worked with, because they're pretty good people, except for that one coworker, but that's besides the point. Because all of them have been really, really nice to me. Even some of them who are like a bit more formal or like not who don't come off as friendly as some of the others. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Like, even like when they're stressed out about work, because obviously we're all working, we're all dealing with customers and all that, we can still find something to talk about. Like, hell, one of my bosses like is pretty much my best friend. I mean, we talk about like Nintendo, we talk about Mario, we talk about Pokemon, and one of my coworkers like kind of the same way. It's I mean, he's into like slightly different games, both of them are, but I always have something to talk about with my coworkers, like whether it is video games or like movies or just like just fucking around or something. When we're not so busy like having to deal with customers and shit. And like I really do want to like keep that interaction with them even when I do leave, because like they're good people. They're good people. I wouldn't mind sitting down with them and getting something or doing something sometime with them. That'd be great. Just sort of like that interaction that I just want to keep going, like this momentum, because I don't want it to end anytime soon. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm getting closer and closer to like leaving my job, but I really do want to like still keep in touch with them for like that main reason, and maybe also if I know anyone who's like looking for work, I can just direct them to them. I can be sort of a reference for them. But that's besides the point. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. I just finished Super Mario Odyssey, the mini moon run, like last night, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I wouldn't technically call it a speedrun because by all means it wasn't, but it was sort of interesting because like that game is designed to like, depending on how you play it, it can be really short or just really, really long, especially if you're like going for 100% and all that. But obviously it wasn't, because I was just collecting as many power moons as, well, not as many power moons, but the minimum amount of power moons that I can to defeat the game. I think I had like 127. And like the thing is, you can get up to like 999 in that game, so that's pretty blowing. I also, since I've been watching Chugga Conroy's Pokemon Black and White LP, I decided today to go out and get Pokemon Black. I already own Pokemon White, but I never owned the other version. It was one of the few examples of me not owning both versions, so I figured, since I have been watching this LP and enjoying it, I figured I would play through that, despite the fact that I have a monotype run going on in Volt White. I figured I could play that on my free time. And, I mean, I just got done with, like, the first gem, and I've been taking a bit of his advice. Like, one of the things, I got, like, this whole army of Lillipups with pickup, which, for some reason, half of them didn't even have pickup, so that was fun to do. But, yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. Be expecting, more of the same, like, streams and all that. But, yeah. Still have no idea if the vlog thing is ever happening, but I guess, as always, this is a good substitution. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you all again when I can. Bye-bye.